I'm with you. Alrighty. Yeah. Show compassion to our enemies, even if they deserve a katana in the pulo. And most importantly, to make each and every one better as human beings. Show our children better ways. What we see now. Jesus Christ, we say these things. Jah Rastafari. Jah Rastafari. Jah Rastafari. Alrighty. First and foremost, I do want to say good morning. And I literally just woke up about 30 minutes ago, so if I look like stir-fried dog dude, it's my fault. Hey, come on. Oh my goodness. No, this is Esca Negro Delights. So I told you guys I would put titles on these things. Anyway, I do want to thank you guys for getting up with me, hanging in there. I tell you, yeah. Plugging my nose here with Flash, but most importantly though, thank you and good morning. I like saying good morning a lot. It is 19 degrees out here in the Colorado Springs zone, and still have part of a moon left, so it's getting ready to go. So whatever equinoxial changes that are going to be happening in spring and so forth, I guess they're going to be happening for a good reason. Yeah. Okay, hold up. We got this issue here. All right. There we go. Now. Needless to say. Oh, and another thing. Huge news here. Huge news here. I now have an actual mug of tea. Okay. But that's not it. I want to make sure that you guys are having fun and doing what you guys normally do. Anyway, it's like I said, 19 degrees. It's supposed to be up to like 50 some odd degrees later on, 51, 52. In the Colorado Springs, that's right. We're broadcasting live throughout the Pikes Peak area, Pueblo. See, Morning Woods. Yeah, Denver. That's right. It's expanding, people. It's expanding. And now. Without further ado, and secondary yakkery. The secondary yakkery. I want to, oh man, dude, I am just like, seriously. There we go. Cool. All right. So now that we're simulcast live, guess what? It is now time for the Ktng Morning Show. Bow, just like that. Throw your mad elbow this morning. Ooh. Okay, hey, this is Ktng Morning Show, and I am your host, the man who will roast from coast to coast, without any kind of fair rain, and I will make sure I ease your pain. Well, not in the medicinal sense, but give you some ease. Anyway, this is the Ktng Morning Show. What are you doing? It's Thursday. You should be out there getting yours and making sure that you're not tearing up your community to do it. Okay? All right. Well, so welcome to the second installment here of Not Black Mystery Month. Since half of you don't know what you're doing. I mean, there's like some weird stuff going on out there today. And I like to start the show off with what the hell happened to me. Anyway, so I almost had a 4-hour conversation last night with my best friend, one of my best friends, my soul buddy and shit, and yeah, that's Paul Martin. Y'all should know this, okay? The guy lives his life as a trucker, okay? But we got on several subjects and so forth that basically defines humanity and everything. And at this particular point, we see we're concurring that there is the possibility of a generational war that would be upon this soil that we stand on. And not too many people are going to be happy about that. Speaking about generational wars, I'm pretty sure a lot of you realize that the Native American Indians are starting to ask for their rent in Canada. And they blocked up tires and all that good stuff. Canada is a rented nation. Okay, they rent from the Indians. Booyah! Okay. A lot of people don't realize that. Ask the government to start paying its bills, or they won't have so many what the hell is this? or they won't have so many revolts, riots, and of course news-making events that make them look a little bit shallow and racist. Now, doesn't it? But it's kind of funny though, because they gave the land to the Indians, and the Indians say, "Okay, yeah, you can live here, pay rent." That's funny. Okay, now my friend, he's seen this. Okay. But most importantly though, it's about certain amount of loyalties and who are like weasels and liars and all this crap. All right, so let's move on to do stuff that will cause us to. He declares himself president of Uganda. Anything? It's Black History. See? That's right. I'm Idi Amin. One eye, two knees, two guns. It's like that. Okay. All right. Sid Vicious dies in '79. Let's see. App scam operation revealed. NBC News report. That's in 1980. Yeah, the sting operation targeting members of Congress using phony Arab businessmen. What became known as the App scam and code named by Arab Americans. So since 1980, Muslims have been slighted. Oh, too bad. Jeez, you're a little bit late to be crying about stuff, all right? And again, that would explain the FBI up at the Marriott Hotel last year. Anyway, 1990, South African president announces unconditional release of Nelson Mandela. That's Black History. All right. In a dramatic concession to South Africa's black majority, President F.W. de Klerk lifts a ban on the African National Congress and promises to free Nelson Mandela, which, needless to say, the rest was history. All right. I think Johnny Cash sings a song, "Ain't nobody gonna hold me down." Sort of thing. But I do have like two amazing stories here. Two amazing stories of freedom and what it's like to basically, how can you say, show the better part of humanity. All right. So in a way we go here. We're gonna sit up. Oh yeah, and resilience, loyalty and resilience, beating out weasels and liars. So I was watching, some TV last night about the what goes on out in Colorado as far as the teachers and everything. I have an affinity for teachers and farmers and so forth because they both feed substances to say, like, one for a mental substance to make sure that your children grow up and have some sort of clue of like what to do. I mean, back in my day, we had handwriting and music and basic general applications in science and math. But mostly, it was a mathematical thing for us. It was totally a mathematical thing. And so, as usual. I wind up having these crazy problems here. Come on, stop. Poop putting. There you go, come here. There you go. Thank you. GZP. No, I'm not a good multitasker, so you can see. I had to pay attention to this crazy wall-ass thing. Oh, yeah. Oh God, okay, buffer issues as usual. Come on here. Anyway, I know this thing is like, it's still recording at some level. But the fact of the matter is this, people. We basically realize that each generation has a different apparatus modi. And if we're too busy killing ourselves over stupid stuff, doesn't make us look like a dominant culture at all. It makes us more or less like a bunch of pariahs. Yes, pariahs in the social sense. Okay, so here I'm going to show you guys exactly what we got to do in that particular vein. Now, it will roll downhill. But in this case, it's going to cause much more havoc than anything else. Now, like I said, I was watching some tubes in Colorado, and it was all about how teachers are basically getting screwed. How student teachers are not invited to the table. Okay. Now, this is kind of strange. How is it that student teachers are now about to get a $10,000 bump right off the freaking bat? And then there are teachers who are on the other end of what we call a political Shanghai. Give you that. I'll give you that in a minute. I'll give you that in a second. For New York Times, with DACA in limbo, teachers protected by the program grid, fear for the worst. Okay, basically. As the story goes here, Karen Reyes spent her days teaching a group of deaf toddlers at loosely Reed pre-kindergarten school in Austin, Texas, how to understand a world they cannot hear. Wow. For the first time in her 4-year teaching career, Ms. Reyes, 29, is at a loss. One of nearly 9,000 educators protected under the Obama-era Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, or DACA. Ms. Reyes has struggled to explain to her students through sign language and pictures the uncertainty of her future. Okay? I'm going to ask the Republican base here, what the hell is your problem? You don't want people teaching your child anything except for what you learned and how you learned it right. So if the teacher happens to be a person of color, all of a sudden now it becomes like, I don't know, like a very bad thing. Now, what does this have to do with Black Mystery Month? All right, let me show you. Well, one, 9,000 educators. 9,000. Okay, that means a lot of you knuckleheads out there, who are natural born gifted teachers, okay, are missing out on an opportunity to help these people. Okay. If you can't help. Join in the protest. Write letters, campaign, organize. It's real simple, people. I mean, come on. Think of it as like taking a trip to Kmart. Okay. Look, for real. Okay. You plan to go. You organize. And there's going to be some people that are going to protest going to Kmart. And guess what? You gotta get them there. Okay. It's like a field trip to Kmart. Just watch out for the blue light special because the women are very heavy-handed. Okay. So when Cheeseburger, El Grande Presidente, rescinded the program in September, he gave Congress until early March to find a replacement before deportations are set to begin for the hundreds of thousands of young migrants and immigrants brought to this country illegally as children who gave their names to the government and were granted work permits. Okay, now wasn't there something about Cheeseburger saying that if you had like the intelligence and you were here already doing a good job, we were going to leave you alone, right? Don't look like that right about now, does it? Yeah, crooked letter I. There you go. But anyway, as he goes on to say, wow, Ms. Reyes' teaching days may be numbered to 119 or 118 to be exact. So therefore, she goes on to say, I don't know what I'm going to tell them through tears. They understand when I go on an airplane, maybe they'll think I'm on a never-ending flight, unquote. Educators played a crucial role in helping young unauthorized immigrants seize and realize DACA's potential. The National Education Association, for instance, held clinics in which it encouraged eligible families to apply for the program and worked with school districts to declare themselves safe zones for undocumented students and their families. The National Education Association has been stripped. Okay, it's been stripped of its federal funding. So therefore, guess what? PBS is going to have one hell of a they're going to have one hell of a fund drive. Remember, the premiums are starting to get a little bit more expensive, ain't it? Okay. Much to the chagrin of educators and advocates, the program created in 2012 by President Barack Obama, I feel you lost, has become a bargaining chip for the White House. Cheeseburger has conditioned its codification in the law of democratic acceptance of tough demands, including an end to decades of family-based migration policies, a wall on the Mexican border, and a crackdown on other immigrants in the country illegally. But the focus is basically based on what Cheeseburger started off with his campaign. Crooks, murderers, rapists, and then when you start your general sweeps with ICE, you're picking up innocents left and freaking right. As a matter of fact, nobody in the federal government will even answer this question of like, how is it that you still have 800 servicemen who are immigrants fighting all these damn wars? From Desert Storm all the way up to now. Okay, how is it that 800 servicemen, Latino servicemen of the United States of America are still booted out of this country and living, I say living and surviving and struggling in Tijuana? Veterans. Oh, we support our troops, right? As long as they're, legal. Okay. Yeah. So let me ask you this: how is it that the government can trick you into being a legal resident, and then as soon as you are in any armed branch of services, they boot you out of the country right behind? Wow. Don't bite the hand that master feeds you. Sometimes you might just get some meat. Dang. So, and anyway, in another sense and so forth, it's just the same story as always. Somebody successful comes from out of a country that basically is war-torn and rife with, human injustice and inequality. And for some goofball reason, our governments are paralyzed to help. We're quick to condemn. We're quick to alleviate other cultures of their essence, as in in a very parasitic manner. But yet, when we bring in all these refugees and immigrants, why are we so quick to try to make them slaves? Why? They got families just like everybody else. We'll pay them a fair wage. That sort of thing. But unfortunately, in the mind of a lot of those immigrants that are coming through the pipeline, not all of them are Mexican. Not all of them are El Salvadorian. Not all of them are Guatemalan. Okay? You have a lot of Russians coming through. You have a lot of Arabs coming through. You have a lot of Africans coming through. Okay? It's pretty easy to get in from that way. All right? You don't see people stopping up by police and so forth and saying, I just want to live here because shopping is great. No. That's never going to happen. So, Ms. Reyes, I hope everything goes well in your corner, my dear. But unfortunately, under the guise of under Cheeseburger's policies and direct cutting of this program, this country is going to look more villainous as it goes by its administration to do so. Crap. Straight crap. Okay? It's straight crap. And so for all those of you who come here and find yourselves like, the new slaves on the block, think of how much ignorance is going to be taught in schools later on. For real. I like that Captain Kirk thing, Captain Kirk. Spock, where are you? You must have the reason. Okay. Anyway, the next story here is a basis for that. The erasing of history. Okay. And the first thing our guided, our mighty whitey news media out there does is they try to chip away at Black Mystery Month in many cases. So, I guess that's the reason why whenever I watch Jeopardy, I sit there and I watch like white people cringe when it comes to like African history because they don't know it. Maybe it's because it started at home. And as a matter of fact, really, about 5 years ago, I was watching Jeopardy. Even up to now, how is it that white people have a hard time with African history? Maybe because of this report right here may just shed light on certain things. How about this? Students don't know slavery was a central cause of the Civil War. The report shows. The U.S. News and World Report 8 hours ago When it comes to the history of slavery in the United States, the central role it played in shaping the country and its continued impact on racial issues, students don't know much. In other words, I would suggest you, stop looking at your black friends and ask your black friends how their generations grew up. In fact, only 8% of high school seniors can identify slavery as the essential cause of the Civil War, according to a report released today by the Southern Poverty Law Center. But don't blame the students. The report shows schools aren't including it in curriculums. Teachers aren't prepared to teach it. The textbooks don't include enough material about it. Wow. Wow. I remember my history book kind of had some connection with it. It had in my time when I went to high school, they had at least 5 pages. What is it now? A paragraph? Let me ask you this, people. If you had a way of predominantly running the future, what would you need to do? Erase the history. That way, in the present, nobody knows. Wow. Sounds like some New World Order shit, don't it? Oh, right. Anyway, as the story goes on, quote, it's important that everyone understand that slavery is truly at the foundation and formation of the Let's Make America Great Again policies. Okay? Hassan Kwame Jeffries, associate professor of history at Ohio State University, said on a press call the center organized Thursday, quote, you really can't understand the American past or present without having a good grasp of the role that slavery played in this country. As a matter of fact, a lot of people still don't. Everybody wants to back away from that American heritage. Why? Okay? But the report shows that 2/3 of high school seniors don't know that it took a constitutional amendment to formally end slavery, and fewer than 1 in 4 students can correctly identify the provisions in the Constitution that gave advantages to slaveholders. Well, they're kind of biblically written, would you say? That's why they executed King James. Okay. Quote, a lot of our students don't even understand the role of the North in slavery and how it benefited from slavery. Jack Katz, a U.S. history teacher at the Wesley High School in Massachusetts, who was also on the call, said, quote, when they learn about the Civil War, they like to think that we in the North are the good guys. Massachusetts was the first state to abolish slavery, but when they heard about Lowell Mills, and then they think, wait a second, where we're getting this cotton? Where we're getting that cotton? Where are we getting that cotton? The survey, which was conducted over a course of 1 year by the Center's Teaching Tolerance Project, also found that teachers, textbooks, and state academic standards aren't helping the situation. Wow, you gotta lower the bar again. Okay, come on. If you want to know about slavery, just ask somebody that's over 70 years old. Don't ask me, okay? Because I will recite a lot of stuff. Okay, so while teachers overwhelmingly respond that they feel comfortable discussing slavery in the classroom, the report, I don't know. Discussing slavery, and the report found that nearly half think the textbooks are inadequate. 40% believe the state offers insufficient support for teaching about slavery. But it's hard to discuss violence and teach white supremacy. Okay? I don't think so, really. I mean, come on, look at Timothy McVeigh. It didn't take him long to be radicalized and then all of a sudden become the nation's greatest martyr. Okay? It's hard to learn about the shortcomings of our American icons and heroes, Jeffrey says. It's hard to wrap our minds around the fact that something so vile undergirds our history, so we have tended to shy away. Yeah, shying away. Okay? How is it that we got so many people out there saying, oh, the ancestors this and the ancestors that? I don't think that's shying away. I think that's pretty much like running off to be an exclusionary part of your life. Okay? Fine. Run to the white witch. That basically is no more than a pathway to hell itself. Okay? Popular textbook survey shows fail to provide comprehensive coverage of slavery. Of the 10 most widely used textbooks, researchers at the Southern Poverty Law Center found only one that scored a 70% against the rubric of what they would consider or should be included in the study of slavery, but average score was nearly 46%. Again, what forces out there? What manipulative corporate forces out there are slowly deleting the information of slavery from out of the history book? Okay? I'm sorry, but no. The Native American and the African have been on this planet for a lot longer than most people give. Okay? Actually, all life sprung from the wells of Africa. Okay? There's no way you can get around that. Right? And everybody else is nothing more than stepchildren. For real. So if anything, you have a whole bunch of you got a whole bunch of textbooks out there. That are like falling short of it. Teachers are falling short of it. White students and black students are suffering the worst. And therefore, when they're suffering the most, especially in at-risk areas, the mind from that point, a child's mind, a teenager's mind, and so forth, is very influential. It soaks up like a sponge, and therefore becoming products of their environment. When doing so, they're easily swayed to the biggest thing that leads you down the road of ruin, which is temptation. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes, that temptation becomes an earned entitlement to abuse and use whatever mythological power that you think you have. Of the 15 sets of state standards the center analyzed, this is Poverty Law Center, analyzed, none address how the ideology of white supremacy rose to justify the institution of slavery. Most failed to lay out meaningful requirements for learning about slavery, about the lives of millions of enslaved people, or about how their labor was essential to the American economy. Of course. Now, students can't possibly grasp the gravity of the Civil Rights Movement or the genesis of the Black Lives Matter movement, she says. Okay? Indeed. Okay? Without being grounded in the history of slavery. Okay? If we move past our racial differences, schools must do a better job at teaching American slavery in all the ways it still continues to this day to impact American society, including poverty rates, mass incarceration, and education. Okay? Think about it. Those are the three things. Okay, let's go back over those three things real quick. Poverty rates, recession-proof. Mass incarceration, recession-proof. Education fluctuates, so 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Onward. For real, man. Come on, think about it. Think about it. All right. If those three things were not, where are you making the most money? Okay. Poverty costs, but in mass incarceration, it's been the most recession-proof industry in the freaking country, for that matter. How do I know? It's real simple. The Baca family. Let's see. The Block family, Sherman Block family. They own massive stock in the prison system in California. They never have to work a day in their life. Not at all. The Block legacy is already cemented, and guess what? You idiots are straight running to there. I'm going to fill up massive jail cell real quick. Yeah, I'm running, boy. I'm running straight to it. Yeah. That's right. I'm running straight to the jail cell so that way I can get massive my money. Because I'm stupid. I like hanging out the street. I like walking around with my pants sack. I like go wilding out and acting a fool all day. That's what I like to do. Yeah, I like to show my act. You don't have to do that. You don't have to show your ass. I mean, if you're going to be an ass and so forth, I mean, find a big enough thing, find a big enough shirt to go around it and so forth. Because that crack between your face is just killing me. God. And then here's the funny thing. And then it's like, after a certain while, they get lost. But they have all the answers, right? They have all the answers. Okay? That's what kills me. You have all the freaking answers, but yet still you're not going to implement none of them. Yeah. Okay. And you know something that's even funny because when I was talking to my best friend Paul and whatnot, we talked about the decline of the decline of human intelligence and human intelligence and so forth. But he had a funny story about this girl who basically, and she's like in her 20s, right? In her 20s, and she's like thinking, where does meat come from? From the store, and they get theirs from one big store. They get their supplies from one big store. I had to say to myself, I'm like, oh my god. But then again, the apple don't fall far from the tree. If the girl's parents are freaking ignorant, guess what? She's as ignorant as they are. And ignorance is killing us, man. Ignorance is killing us as a human dynamic. Think about it, people. It's a human dynamic. There's something weird about that. It really is. It really is. I mean, satire aside, come on. If we are looking at a generation app, like on the phone apps and so forth, that sort of thing. Man, generation app has the propensity of ADH, okay? And inherently, that's going to be passed on to their children and their children. So we have a hyperbole stance on the makeup of our inner savagery. Okay, why is it that schools are at this particular point standardized testing? Our scores are so freaking low. How is it that we pay attention more so to the ignorance and death and brutality of human beings than we can extend to be greater people? How? Well, I'll tell you all. It's because it's all due to that sucker punch. Yes. We're here at the midway point, people. You know where I'm at. Anyway, we're simulcast here live on Facebook and YouTube. And, of course, we are on the run as usual. But, most importantly, like and follow us throughout 2018. Subscribe, smash that love button. DJ Sucker Punch says, save your nuts! And there's also Kung Fu Saturdays and gospel and jazz on Sundays. We have a lot of programming here, commercial free. Okay, and there's a reason why we're commercial free, because we believe in free speech all the way up to damn potential. Hopefully that's because of people that are basically speaking out. If you're not speaking out, people, against a socio-political spectrum in this country, then you are falling short. If you do not say anything evil runs amok, then you are a part of the problem. The only thing for evil to prevail is when good men stop trying. Okay? So, I'm going to keep this fight up for a very, very long time, as long as I can pay my bills. And therefore, that's all we ask for, people. A little donation that can help. Yeah. But you know what? You got to do good on this thing. You got to do good. There's no way around that, because there's too many people doing evil crap all damn day. Right? So that's basically fine, And when it comes down to it and so forth, man. I have to go back on the school thing real quick. I really do. We have so much history available that in many cases we forget. We totally forget. All right, we totally forget parts of it. But it's starting to bubble up, though. It's starting to bubble up. So this African mental liberation that I'm providing you today results from that lack of understanding, a lack of credibility in the teachers that are out there teaching our history. Okay. And then it looks stereotypical if we have black people actually teaching it to white people. No, it's not about teaching it to white people. It's not about teaching it to black people solely. It's about teaching every last one of these kids the true history of this country. Okay? And making sure that from, say, the 6th grade to high school, they know all about this country. Before they get into college. That's a teaching program. So, the majority of you out there still think of I pretty much know my history, okay? But I did promise and asked you guys, specifically on Facebook and whatnot, that who were your thinkers? Okay? Who were your thinkers? Now I'm pretty much a good thinker and so forth from time to time, and I have my little like, you know, that sort of thing going on. But check this out, though. And this is from let's see, where's this article coming from? Lily Beaumont. Okay. Lily Beaumont. Hi, it's the MIC Daily. And she writes some things about some people, actual black people who basically were notable in our history. Very notable. Now Cory Booker, he's making himself he's becoming a household name all of a sudden. But you know, we also have been ignoring, you know, the potential of our great minds, that we should be able to share our potential with people who understand. So you could probably argue that the majority of black writers and intellectuals have been ignored by society. It's our loss. There are certainly the recognizable names: Frederick W.E.B. Du Bois, Booker T. Washington, Langston Hughes, James Baldwin, Richard Wright, Ralph Ellison, Alice Walker, and Toni Morrison come to mind. But someday it will be inexcusable that we ever let any of these five brilliant thinkers, the big ideals, fade from history. Just remember, Zora Neale Hurston was once forgotten. Strategically, I can say that. How about this? Number one, Richard Theodore Grenier, 1844 to 1922. The 2012 discovery of a bundle of papers in an abandoned Chicago home generated renewed interest in the life of Richard T. Grenier, first black graduate of Harvard. While Grenier was a prominent social activist and scholar in his own way, his distinguished career included a professorship at the University of South Carolina and a diplomatic post in Russia. His achievements are now rarely discussed. Wow. How about Drusilla Houston, 1876 to 1941, doubly marginalized by virtue of both her race and her gender. Drusilla Dungy Houston was nevertheless a prolific writer whose work traversed multiple genres, including editorials, essays, screenplays, and poetry. Perhaps the most significant, though, was her work as a historian. The publication of Houston's wonderful Ethiopians of the ancient Kushite Empire secured her place as one of the earliest prominent of Africana studies, and her work proved influential to later Pan-Africanists. How come this is not taught? Okay, how about Wallace Henry Thurman, 1902-1934? Not nearly entirely forgotten. Wallace Henry Thurman tends to get lost in the crowd of Harlem Renaissance writers, as Stevie Wynn pointed out in the February Ebony article. Though Thurman's career was short, he died of tuberculosis at only 32, but he did manage to complete 3 novels, including The Blacker the Berry, which criticized prejudice within the black community toward those with darker skin. Sweeter the juice. Straight up, man. Oh yeah. And the only reason why that has been like, you know, hush-hush and so forth, because the black community is quite capable of doing that. Thurman's penchant for controversial topics was equally evident in his work on the literary Fire. Though the magazine failed after only 1 issue, it was highly critical and proponents of integration and in fact was initially conceived as a publication that would not shy away from the other hot button issues like homosexuality and interracial relationships. Okay. How about Frank Yerby, 1960 to 1991? Okay. Though widely read during his own lifetime, Frank Yerby has now dropped off the public radar, except for when he's been criticized for his failure to tackle the racial issues that so informed the work of his contemporaries Baldwin and Wright. As A.J. Aronstein points out, however, Yerby is probably better understood as a writer who worked within the framework of both popular fiction and order to subtly change the preconceptions and biases, such as perhaps he deserves a second look. You know, these are writers, people. These are writers. These are African American writers. that you have no idea about. How about Albert Murray, 1960 to 2013? Mel Watkins, New York Times profile and obituary of Albert Murray notes that the author was slow to receive mainstream recognition, and it was not hard to see why, though a prolific and original essayist who had held visiting professorships at multiple universities. Murray was vocal in his criticism of blacks and whites alike. He opposed to black separatism. Murray was also frustrated by those who spoke of the quote-unquote dysfunction of black communities, arguing that black culture and history are central to the identity of all Americans. Fittingly, Murray advised integration and increased awareness of shared heritage on the part of white Americans. There's nothing controversial about that, but yet still the man should be in the same. If the man's pretty much above, if not above, like the writings of Baldwin. I mean, here are five writing geniuses. And I wonder, is there someone in our generation that's going to actually put their name to this list? To be found later. Might be me, because I write a lot. Anyway, one thing I was following on this particular story and so forth, I have to make mention of that because it is like, one good thing here that ended well. All 955 miners trapped in South Africa are rescued. This is by AFP 4 hours ago. All 955 gold miners were trapped underground for more than a day in South Africa following a power cut, resurfaced unharmed on Friday, which is tomorrow. And we're greeted by overjoyed relatives waiting at the site. Everybody's outside. Mine spokesman James Wellston told AFP, adding that there were no deaths or serious injuries reported. That's job. Not take the medicine. Not take the medicine. He's looking for the guilty. Everybody's out. There was cases of dehydration and high blood pressure, but nothing as serious. Miners were stuck in the Beatrix gold mine in the small town of Denisium, near the city of Welcome. Around 30 hours after the massive power outage caused by a storm prevented from bringing workers on the night shift to the surface. For several hours, engineers were able to restore power, allowing the hoist to bring up miners who had been trapped since Wednesday evening in batches. The workers were all brought to the surface within 2 hours. Quote, it was stressful. There was not enough ventilation. Thankfully, the management managed to send them food and water. Westhead said that there was quote-unquote no indication so far that anyone has been in distress, although it was a traumatic experience. A young woman who spent the night anxiously waiting here near the mine for news of her uncle could not hide her joy. Okay. But then too, here it is. You have another group. You have other groups out there mining the wealth of Africa away from Africa, paying them pittances to do it, risking their lives to make sure that your bling hangs well. All right. Straight up. Oh, this dang thing, I tell you, does it again. Touch, baby. Just touch it. I gotta lock you back in so I can greet it. I don't know what I'm singing. Anyway, back to the subject at hand. Okay. There are gold mines. Africa is like central. For gold. Gold was for many decades the backbone of South Africa's economy, but production has declined sharply due to depletion of reserves. Now that everybody has all the gold from Africa, you're going to leave it into an husk. I don't, say. I can't sit there and say that this is the white man's fault. No, this is a multinational disgrace of simple murder, simple genocide, simple economic genocide. Keep Africa, the continent of Africa, in many countries in Africa, sucking on the IMF tit of supplicating, loaning, being sharked every damn day, every year. Okay, and what have any of these gold mining companies ever did for the communities of Africa? What? Okay, have they built them malls? Have they built them affordable housing? Are they building schools? With the money that they steal from out of Africa? How would people like it? How would the United States like it if people came over here and straight up, hired us under minimum wage? So you're only getting $10 a day. Go out and fish out uranium. Yes. A lot of uranium deposits are spread all the way from, say, Wyoming to Utah to Washington State. Like Corbin. What would happen? It would be sent in there to die. That's what would happen. It would not be a very cool thing. I don't think so. And America would be in arms. Speaking of which, got something good here for you. Alrighty. One-armed girls basketball coach inspires players with perseverance. How about that for a new mark in Black history? I'll tell you about the present Black history. That's what I'm focusing on. All right. Chicago Tribune a couple of days ago. One-armed man raised his right fist in the middle of Bowen High School gymnasium on the city's south side. A universal gesture of strength and unity. The girls' basketball team gathered around Coach Kennard Johnson. No is more than symbolic. "We got your back," the team shouted before break. Their experience playing for Johnson tells them that goes both ways. He takes care of us like we are his own children. Zahedi Nadeem. Okay. When senior captain Kayla Harrison lost her 19-year-old brother Joseph in a senseless shooting death. Okay. Johnson spent nearly 2 hours on the phone talking her through the pain. When her starter forgot her shoes before the game this season, Johnson gave the girl his to wear. Okay. When a player needed anything from breakfast to a new duffel bag, Johnson reaches into a pocket once every 2 weeks after payday. Okay? He quote-unquote, he goes on to say that these kids basically have nothing, and sports keeps them active and away from the corner store or gangbangers at the park. So they come here and I give them all I can. Says Johnson, 57, whose left arm was amputated after he had been shot as a teenager. Practice is at 2:30. If they're hungry, I tell them to text me and I'll bring food. Whatever, all they need is a little help and some motivation. Okay? This man is a shining example of Black history, yet still he's a hero in the community. Providing some often takes Johnson back to June 16, 1978. The memory remains vivid. Almost 40 years later, Johnson was a senior at Hirsch High School, whose father Emmett owned the Parks Hotel at 7454 South Cottage Grove. On that day, Johnson's dad had a toothache and asked his son to make up 3 of the hotel rooms. Johnson headed down the staircase after watching the soap opera All My Children. A man who believed he had been robbed by a prostitute fired a gun in his direction. The bullet tore through Johnson's left arm just above the elbow. It was a 7-shooter pump, and I was in the right place at the wrong time, Johnson recalled. I didn't see it coming. I heard a loud noise and echo. I hit the ground, and where your arm closes, I saw a hole. In the chaotic scene that followed, Johnson recalled immediately being placed in the back of a Chicago police van because officers mistakenly suspected he was a villain. 3 weeks in Jackson Park Hospital left Johnson with gangrene. When his fingertips turned black, they transferred him to St. Luke Hospital, where he remembers being prepared for surgery to remove his hand. I went under thinking I was only going to lose my hand, but woke up and they had amputated above the elbow. 6 months later, followed for almost a year, Johnson says he barely left his house The kid who used to play hoops at the playground at Nat King Cole Park against the likes of Mark Aguirre and Terry Cummings became depressed. His parents bought him a Trans Am to cheer him up. Instead of attending Kentucky State University on a band scholarship, Johnson enrolled at Kentucky King College while he redirected his life. So never give up. That is what African history is. Never giving up. Van replaced the Trans Am, and Johnson started his own family, which included 2 sons and a daughter with cerebral palsy. Not only that, but also a job as a special needs assistant at Henderson Elementary came courtesy of a recommendation from his mentor, Dr. John West, a longtime Chicago Public Schools administrator. And in the hallways, kids said the darndest things. Students would look at me like I was a freak, Johnson said. We thought I was in the Army or a police officer who lost his arm. Eventually, Johnson moved to Brooks College Prep, and he opened. And when it opened in 1998, and he still works at the school as security supervisor, coaching the Brooks girls basketball team for 16 years, provided an outlet for the athletes trapped inside the body that no longer did everything Johnson wanted. Scrimmaging against players, practice Johnson continued when he became to Bowen 4 years ago, produced a sense of normalcy. Brooks kids accepted me after they saw that I could play ball. So I just started shooting and the ball kept going in. So I played full court and gelled from there. Johnson said, people say I'm handicapped. I don't consider myself handicapped. I can do more with one arm than some people can do with 2. Okay. Somewhere in Johnson's house is a prosthetic arm. His father won $4.6 million in the Illinois lottery in 1985. Bought it for him. Johnson never used it because the hand weighs about 30 pounds and has a hook, so he didn't like it. After a recent appearance on WCIU's 26 The Jam, the doctor reached out with an offer to build him a robotic arm. That intrigues Johnson. He wants to coach until he's 60 and then pursue a degree in photography. Okay? I might wear a prosthetic when I put on a suit on, who knows? For now, he focuses on preparing his 11-4 Bowen girls basketball team for the playoffs next month before coaching the Simeon Career Academy softball team in the spring. Bowen athletic director Claire McCauley marveled at Johnson's knack for making each of his players feel unique. The point of the individualized homemade photo displays, he hands out every senior on that night, so forth. Hold up, what's the hell? Okay, there we go. You gotta be kidding me. Yep, it's always something goofy. Whatever. Anyway, on with the story here. He says you can't fit in anywhere else and don't feel right except here in the gym. So Coach Johnson gets that and makes us all feel like we belong. Aaron said he understands that basketball is our escape, is too. Now, for all of you dramatic, overdrawn, overwrought people who sufficely, go through your day-to-day dramas, here's a man who basically was an innocent and decided to change his life by working with the community he was in. Okay? His is an invention of human spirit. And that's all we have is human spirit when it comes down to making a difference or making history. This man should be marked in history for the work that he does. An ordinary guy. Ordinary. Nothing special, nothing talented or anything like that. That sort of thing. That sort of thing. Hold up. Yeah, but I can't talk to you right now. Okay. Yeah, okay. All right, good morning, Walt. I have that answer for you. Anyway, had to answer that thing and so forth. Everybody's like thinking, yeah, I'm going to school for CDL and so forth. Get my CDL license and everything. And learn how to drive trucks or something close to it. Anyway. We got to move on to our favorite segment here. But before then, I do want to ask another question here. Okay, so when it comes to people who are ordinary writers and thinkers, and people who basically want to, advance our struggles and so forth into like realities that proves that the resiliency of the people in a country that sees them different should be admired as heroic. It should be. And if not, and we're not teaching any of this in history classes, or we are busy not making history, then what are you doing? What are you doing? Are you just being a knucklehead? Is that it? Is that the thing to do? Just be a complete knucklehead about crap all damn day? Anybody can party and bullshit. But until you realize that the revolution is more than just armed fighting, use this. If you're busy using this and so forth, you're not gonna win. No. Better start thinking, bub. Okay? And think unemotionally, because your enemy is unemotional when they decide to come after your ass. Think about it, people. All right. Near the closing part of this, so you know what's going to happen and everything. I am definitely going to sit here and say, it is now time to say good morning to everyone that's tuned on in. It's time for us to say good morning, so this way we can say it to the end. All right, anyway. Yes, I am a horrible singer. Anyway, good morning to Walt, Cool Walt, Sir Walt. That's right, the man who remembers the super legend, who is now, basically one of our best critics of the music that we do play. So if we got to get more funky, we're gonna have to get more funky. All right, so we'll find us some good old JBs. How about that today? All right. Anyway, also good morning to Deshaun Griff, the funniest lady in Ohio. Rodney Allen Rippey. You know him. He's got a site, so I suggest you go check him out. Sarah Tindy, good morning. Soul Sonic Bass, good morning. Sergio Martins, good morning. David Serlano, YP, good morning. Okay, Buck, good morning. Clarence Lumford, good morning. Darrell James, he has a podcast, people. I suggest you tune in. He's getting deep, people. He's getting deep. You better watch out. I mean, you can see him coming through, man. He's bracing it, man. He's bracing you people, man, but y'all don't even see him. Look out. All that good stuff. All right, then let's see. What other good stuff? Let's say, boom, boom, boom. Good morning today, Dwayne Proctor, my other brother, Jamie Mantine. Good morning, all the way across the pond here. Colin Prosser, good morning. Let's see. Okay, whatever. Darren Gregory Malloy, good morning. That's a good thing. Yeah. Ooh, boy, oh boy. Okay. And I love some of these posts that I see from time to time and everything, but Roxanne Shante, good morning, late as usual. Dr. Nigel During, good morning. I hope Florida is getting a little bit warmer for you, sir. Let's see, who else is coming through? Shaughnessy Furman, good morning. Oh my goodness. Everybody start to just pop in late as usual. No harm, no foul. Rainer Reyes, good morning. Also, good morning, Universal Zulu Nation across the planet. Good morning. Okay, and the 496,000 people that basically follow me worldwide, all the way in France, worldwide in Belgium, worldwide in South America, worldwide in South Africa, worldwide in Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan, Pakistan, India, Mongolia, China. That's right, Hong Kong, Taiwan, Guam, Saipan, all the way around the world to Indonesia, okay, all the way around the world, baby. Canada, the rented land of the Indian. And also to like all the homeboys and homegirls in Mexico, Cuba. Let's see, Belize. I mean, come on, Central America. I give no props and no mornings to anybody living in the damn cartel area still trying to hurt your community and come up on money. Stop being importers of your own death, or grow up, one or the other. I mean, come on, that's all you got to really do. So, therefore, hip hop around the world. We got the world's best international spitters, and we're the only station that carries it because we are that eclectic. I'm gonna get up out of here. I got a crap load of things I really need to take care of today. But I'm gonna leave you in this capable hands of the music that we play here, and what we do here, to entertain you, to give you enlightening stuff. And throughout the month of February, we're gonna have those instances of unfound history, unfound present, and future accomplishments that are going to happen by African Americans, Africans, and Black diaspora around the world. So keep it here throughout the month of Ktng. Okay, but throughout the month, Ktng had its own month. It'll be the 13th. Atomic clock. That's what. Anyway, cool thing is that I do get a chance to do this and everything, so I'm very happy of my opportunities. Most importantly, I'm very, very happy that y'all allows me to get out of bed to do this. Okay, I'm hungry. Okay. Oh yeah, and I got me a nugget last night. After everything that happened yesterday, trust me, I pretty much I've had a great deal of change come my way. So if anything, I intend to grow from it, and of course keep on moving on as I usually do. No worries. The best way to beat a negative day is to stay positive and shine. And as I tell everybody, no matter what the hell's going on in your life, never let them steal your shine. Let them never take your damn smile. The Ktng Morning Show, this has been the Grits Man. I'm out of here. You guys have yourselves a safe and blessed day. And most importantly, learn to be better human beings, because in the end, there is no segregation in heaven. Okay? Plenty in hell, but not in heaven whatsoever. All right, people, love, peace, and chicken grease. YouTube. I'm out of here. See you tomorrow.